Hi, I'm Ruble Chandy, the #1 international best-selling author of 90 Days to Life, a journey from turmoil to triumph. Today I'm going to talk about a fascinating topic about how our fears are formed based on a society that we live in. Today I live in a Western society. I lived for quarter century in an Eastern society, and I want to give you a unique contrast of two of these societies and how fear is shaped in different societies in different ways. And in a fascinating way, we have different fears in the Eastern world and different fears in the Western world, and how we could overcome that. So it's something that I'm really fascinated about. But before that, if you don't know how to handle this fear and how to have this awareness about fear and how to overcome that, then you're stuck with fear, because fear is controlling you. Your mind is controlling you. Whatever you decide, it's going to be from a lower self. You are acting from your fear. But if you know how to handle this, then the world is in your hands. You can dream and achieve whatever you want to dream and achieve. Right? So you are getting that ultimate power by getting that clarity and getting that handle over fear. So here's the thing, guys. In my life, for the longest of the time, I was fearful about everything. So my biggest fear was fear of rejection. Like, what if people reject me? What if this happened? What if that happened? So I designed my entire world, entire career, entire business based on that one fear, which is fear of rejection. I don't want to be rejected. What if they reject me? What is going to happen? And then I studied, and when I came to the US, many of my clients, I was fascinated by this, did not have fear of rejection as much. They had fear of failure. They were afraid of failing. Right? I was not much afraid of failing, but of course there was an element of fear about failure, but that kind of, that was superseded by the fear of rejection, because I didn't want to be rejected. I don't want anybody rejecting me. I don't want to feel insignificant. That was my fear. And then I studied about this fascinating concept of cluster society versus individualistic society. So let me explain what I mean by that in a second, and then I will get into the real stuff. Not that this is not real stuff, right? So this is real stuff too. Yeah, so here's the thing, guys. Cluster society is a society where people are codependent. They're depending on each other for everything. So the culture that I came from, which is south of India, I was born in a state called Kerala in India. People were always commenting about each other, right? So they'll be like, if I get fat, they'll be, oh, you got fat already. Like, people will sincerely comment about it so that so that they could help me. And I know this would be totally annoying here in the US, but that's how that society was built in. Like, something out of the ordinary happened, people always commented about it. And people always kept each other in check. So the change in the culture would be gradual, because it's a cluster. Because of the same reason, there was a certain level of energy for the environment that is set. So we have a baseline of energy that we could calibrate from. Do you understand what I mean by that? Which means that everybody supports each other. So we are all energetically connected, right? So it is not just one person anymore. It's a cluster. It's a group of people, right? They feed you. Wherever you go, wherever you go, whichever houses you go, you could just go eat with them and anything. There's no rule. Like, you don't need to take an appointment. You could go to places. You could go to anybody's house, like in the village, and then go there and you would eat. I have, there are like days that we don't even come to. We come back home, but we go in the morning and then play and eat breakfast from somebody's house, lunch from somebody else's house, and then dinner from somebody else's house, and come home, even when I was like 12 or stuff like that. So it was a cluster society. It was a collective society. And the benefit of collective society is that there is a baseline energy that you could calibrate from. So depression would be significantly lesser in that society, assuming it stays that way. So in those societies, fear of failure was not a big issue. First of all, people don't attempt too much, but if they attempt, if they succeed, everybody is going to recognize them. They are rising in the social status. Now, fear of rejection is a big deal in that society, because since it is a cluster, if one person rejects, the entire system rejects you. So fear of rejection is formed in that culture predominantly more than other cultures. Now, on the flip side, when I came to the US, and then I worked with so many people from different cultures, different countries, different ethnicities, all over the world, one thing that I realized is, on the Western society, fear of failure is predominant. I don't have a detailed statistics clinical trial done on this. I'm saying based on my experience. Anybody can research this and study this and take your PhD on that. But the point is, this is something that I'm observing. So fear of failure, because there is no baseline energy. This is a disadvantage of an individualistic society. So obviously the Western society is an individualistic society. People don't comment on each other. They just left them. If they want to be, whatever type of person they are, they can be here. Like, you could own gun, you could not own gun, you could be gay, you could be not gay, you could be transgender, you could be anything you want in this country, and it still be okay, because we respect the individualism of the country. It might be changing a little bit, but I'm talking overall generally, right? So in the individualistic society, what I have seen is fear of rejection is not a big deal, because they are conditioned to be rejected, because they are alone anyways. There's no one to reject them. So fear of failure became predominant significantly in my clients from the Western side. So what does that mean? It means that based on the type of society that we are, we still have fears, but the fears shape could be different. So if that's the case, if the Western society, the individualism of the Western society, if that can be brought into the Eastern world, and the clusterness of the Eastern society, if that can be brought into the Western world, then we have a perfect harmony managing fear without doing anything. That's what I'm talking about today. Hopefully that all makes sense now, right? So that is a fascinating discovery. So that's why I am bringing in the Western side of the world, like some of my mentors, some of my teachers, some of my clients, to teach in the Eastern world, where I do accelerator seminars in India, and I'm starting in some other countries, potentially in Dubai, Bahrain, other countries as well, and I'm potentially looking into getting Eastern teachers to talk on the Western world in our accelerator business program. So I conduct this 4-day business accelerator seminars for business owners to take their business to the next level, double, quadruple their business in the next 12 to 24 months. So many people are getting so much value and so much result from working with us in that 4-day event, where we immerse into your business and have these kind of unique thinking to take your business to the next level. But specifically, if you're interested in one of the seminars that are conducted all over the world, like right now specifically in India and US, and we are expanding into different parts of the world, if you're interested in participating, and we would be expanding into 50 countries very soon, and now if you're interested in that, you could put a comment or send a direct message, or wherever you see it, you could contact us whatever way you want to contact, and we would be happy to invite you and let you be part of it. We wanted you to participate in that, and then take your business to the next level as well, right? And our intention with this accelerator program is to build 1 million businesses from 50 countries to collect together, become a cluster, and be independent at the same time, so that we could take the benefit of the Western individualism and the Eastern cluster society, so that we could build a community that is fearless in nature. So that is our goal, and look forward to seeing you there. And specifically think about what is one thing that you could do based on this information. If you are from the Western side listening to this, then how can you overcome the fear of failure? And if you're from the Eastern side, how can you overcome fear of rejection? How can you balance it using some of the Western value if you're from the Eastern side? And from the Western side, what can you use from the Eastern side to synergize and take your business to the next level? Again, I'm Ruble Chandy, the creator of Accelerator Business Seminars and #1 international best-selling author of 90 Days to Life, a journey from turmoil to time. I look forward to seeing you. Have an amazing day. Talk to you soon.